All right, so where we left off today in class, we did a couple things. Number one is I demoed this again. There were a couple people who had some errors. We fixed those errors, but really important to understand what's going on in the place the robot function. So we have a scanner, and this is what we're using to get our input from the user. You don't really have to know how it works, just how do I use it. So I named it keyboard. This is where I'm actually accessing that keyboard. So I'm inputting from the keyboard. I named it keyboard just to remind me that's the source of my information. It's coming in from the keyboard as the user is using the program. This is the prompt. I'm asking the user, hey, where do you want, what's the street where you want to start the robot? And then I'm expecting the user to input an integer. If they don't, something weird would happen. We can test that. We can find ways to protect against it. But for now, let's just assume we're dealing with a smart user who knows how to use it and is not trying to break our program. But there are ways to protect. So then we're inputting it. We're storing it as street, as an integer variable named street. Please make your variable names appropriate and meaningful. Then I am, this line here is just testing it. So I'm going to print out, hey, you just entered this, and we'll see what happens. So we demoed this in class. There we go. There we go. There we go. Enter the street. Notice, so this is the room that I want to clean. So I want to be able to see it first and then place my robot in that room. So that's the information we're acquiring right now from the user. What street do you want the robot to start on? And so this is where we are in the program. It's waiting for me to enter something into the keyboard. I'm going to type 8 and enter. And right now it says, oh, you just entered 8. So this is showing that the number that I stored is stored as the variable street. Well, what I want to do is I want to have the robot show up in that location. So I've commented out, and now I'm going to uncomment out line 51. For me, it's line 51. It might be a different line for you right around there. So this is how we normally make a robot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so this is new. I think in the original version of this, it says the line should look something like this, new robot. And then I left it kind of vague. So I'm helping you out here a little bit. This street number, whatever they entered, whatever the answer to this was, whatever value is stored here, that's what I want the street of my robot to be, where it starts off. So this is the way to pass that information into another, in this case, another function. It's a constructor. So this is where I'm building a robot, and whatever the user's answer was here, that's what I want to pass along when I'm building my robot. So I uncommented this out. Now when I run it, it's still going to behave the same way. It's going to say, hey, enter a street eventually. There you go. I'm going to say 8, enter. And now notice my robot starts off on street 8, avenue 1. Well, am I in the room? No. So I also should prompt the user for the avenue. So you'll do something very similar here. I am going to comment this line out because I don't need that. That printout was just showing that here is how that value was stored. Okay, so now we need to do something similar with avenue. You're going to have something very similar to these lines to input the avenue. And then in place of 1, I want whatever the user wants for their avenue. Okay. After that, one of the shoot for the moon type goals is I would also like you to input the direction. That is way trickier. And if you want help with that, if you feel like you're up to it, it's okay if you always start it facing north. That's fine. But we'd like this to be a variable also. Sometimes the user wants to start off the robot facing east or facing west or south or whatever they want. So it'd be nice to build that kind of flexibility in as well. Not necessary, but it really, I'm hoping to get the juices, your brain thinking a little bit about that. So next video, we're going to talk about moving to the next northwest corner and using this facing north function.